this video, let us understand about response entity. Response entity is a representation of HTTP response. It has headers, body content and status code. This response entity is a class. Whenever you want to send your response with custom headers, body content and status code, this response entity is a better choice. Now, let us learn to use response entity in a REST API application. I'll get into the application. I have already created a Spring Boot application with WebBus dependency. Here I have a model class as book with few properties: title, author, category and book ID. I have also got a service layer wherein book service is the interface with 4 methods: add book, get books by author, get books by category and book by ID. In the implementation class, I am not connecting to the database. Instead, I am working with the hard-coded values of book. By looping through these book objects, I am trying to get the books by category and books by author. Here I have used streams. I am also trying to get one book by ID. In add book method, I am simply printing the book object that is coming from the client side. I am also having a controller class, book controller. This is annotated with @REST_controller with one request mapping. I have also auto-wired book service. I have created few REST APIs. 4 of these methods are calling the methods of the service layer, that is book service.addBook, get book by ID, get books by author and get books by category. In all these REST APIs, I am having the appropriate return types. In case of get books by author and category, I am having a list of books. And in case of get book by ID, I am getting one book instance. And in case of add book and hello, I am having the return type as string. If you want to know how to create a REST API using Spring Boot, you can watch my video on the same. Now let us modify these REST APIs so that they are having the return type as response entity, wherein the response will have headers, body content and status code. I will start with the first method. So I need to have response entity. This is of generic type. So based on the data type that you want to return to the client, you can add it within angle brackets. In my first case, I want the response body to have the data type as string. So here within angle brackets, I can pass the type as string. Let us modify the code within this method. We need to return a response entity object, which is the response. It should have headers, body content and status code. The body content of the response should have this message. Let me create a variable of type string. Message is equal to welcome to book app. We need to add headers to the response entity. So let us create a header object. It is HTTP headers, header equal to new HTTP headers. This is my custom header object, header.add. I'll give the header name as description, header value as online book application. Now we need to return a response entity object. So it is new response entity. Here you can see there are different constructors available for response entity. What I want is this one, which has body, headers and status code. So let me select that. The first one is body. The second body, for that we are having it as message. The second one is header. The third one is the status code. So it should be http status.ok. I will give it as http status. This is enum dot ok. Here we are returning the response as a response entity object which has the header, body content and status code. It is not necessary that you need to create an object. You can also use the static method that is available in response entity. We will try that out for the next method. Now before doing this add method, we will move on to the third method, get book by ID. Now in this case, the return type is response entity of book. because the body content of my response should have a book instance or book object. We will modify the code over here. Book is equal to book service dot get book by id. We will also create a HTTP header object. In this case, getting book by id and return. In this case, we will use the static method of response entity. It goes like this: response entity dot OK, within which we can pass the response body. In our case, it is book. To this, we need to add the headers also. We don't have a specific method to add headers if we are using this .ok method. Instead, response entity dot status, we will pass the status as HTTP status dot OK. It's not only OK, you have got multiple status code. You can see over here dot accepted, already reported, bad gateway, bad request, and much more are there. Now we will choose OK. OK means status is 200. Dot headers, I'll pass the header object. Dot body, I'll pass the book object. In this case, we are calling the static method of response entity and passing the status as OK. The header is the custom header that we have created and the body is the book object. There are different ways of returning the response entity object. Based on your requirement, you can choose it. Now I will come to the third method, books by author. So in this case, it is returning a list of book. So my response entity will have the generic type as list of book. It is response entity list of book. Here also we will call the static method of response entity. In this case, I don't want to add any custom headers. So it is response entity dot, this time we will use a different method. Here you can see that dot OK, dot bad request, dot not found. So these are nothing but the status, the appropriate status that will be created automatically. We don't have any header, so we will use the second method dot OK, within which we need to pass the response body. In our case, the response body is book list. We don't have headers for this response. If you want to add headers, you cannot use this method because it doesn't have headers in the method chain. If you want to use headers in your response, you have to either use this static method or create an object and pass the header directly. We will now move on to the next method, get books by category. So here also the return type is going to be response entity of list of books. In this case, let us add two custom headers. Header equal to new HTTP headers, header dot add, description, list of books by category. Then header dot add. I have added the second header also. Now we will have the return type of book service dot get books by category as list of books, and return response entity. We are using the static method, so it is dot status HTTP status dot OK dot headers, pass the header variable, dot body, pass the response body, which is book list. Here in these REST APIs, we have added the return type as response entity with the appropriate generic type. In case of book by category and book by author, we are having the generic type as list of book. In case of get book by ID, we are having the generic type as book, and for string, the generic type is string. What about add book method? In case of add book method, I don't want to return any content in the body part of the response. I just want to send the header and the status code only. So for that, we have to use response entity, which is taking the generic type as void, V capital. Let us also add a custom header, adding one book, and return response entity dot OK. We cannot use this OK. The reason being it takes the body part of the response. We don't have any body content for the response. So I will go in for the second method, OK. Dot. I am choosing the method build. Just read the description of this build method. It helps to build the response entity with no body. So I will select it. Okay. What about the header? If you want to add header, in that scenario, your return type should look like this. Return response entity. Whenever you are trying to call the static method, you will get the generic format also. We don't need this. Dot status. It is HTTP status. Dot OK. Dot headers. By passing the header. Dot build. If you want to attach header to your response entity, first you need to call the static method status, then you need to call the static method headers, and if you are having body, call the body method, or if you don't have any body content, call the build method. So it is your choice. So we have completed adding response entity as the return type for all the REST APIs. Now let us have a quick review. So what we have done is, we are trying to return a response entity object. This response entity is a representation of HTTP response. It has headers, body content and status code. Based on your requirement, you can call the appropriate methods. While having response entity as a return type, you can return the response entity either as an object or call the static methods of response entity. When you are returning it as an object, there are different constructors with the help of which you can either pass the status code alone or pass headers and status or body and status or all three put together. In our case, we have selected the last one. We are passing the body, header and status. If you are using the static method of response entity, if you don't have header, you can directly call the appropriate static method of the status code like dot OK, dot accepted, dot bad request, dot not found, within which you can pass the body content. If you don't have a body content, then directly you can call the build method, which says that the response entity has void body content, that is no body content. In this case, you cannot pass headers. If you want to pass headers also in the response, then call the static method status, add the appropriate status code, then call the static method headers and call the static method body. If you don't have body, call build method. Okay, we have completed this code. We will test this in Postman. I will save it and I will run this application. The application has started. It is running in port number 8080. Let me open Postman. This Postman is an app. It is used for testing the REST API with the appropriate HTTP methods. If you want to learn more about Postman, you can watch my video on testing the REST API using Postman. So let us start testing the application. I will click plus. This is the place where we will be framing the URL. I will have Eclipse and Postman side by side. We will start from the first method. So it is /greet, http :/localhost 8080 /book-rest API /greet. The mapping is get mapping. So the HTTP method is get. And I will click send. Here we have got the output as welcome to book app. This is what we are having. And now we need to check whether the header has come. In the header we have added the description as online book application and the status code should be 200 OK. We will check it out in the response. See, this is the response part. I have got the status as 200 OK and this is the body content which is welcome to book app. Now we will check the header part. In the header I have got the description as online book application. Okay. Now we will move on to the next REST API /books. And here in this case it is post mapping. And here you see, when you are using post mapping, we need to use request body. It means in case of post method, the request has both header and body content. The body content has the data that we want. So we need to create a book object in the body content. So I will select body, raw data, within curly braces. We need to create a book object. So I will just create it, book ID, colon 10, title, spring in action, author, Kathy, category. We have created a JSON object which is having the book details. Here you need to select JSON type. Click send. Now I will scroll down and this is the response part. What is the response that we are expecting in case of post mapping? Response entity dot status OK, headers and build. So it will not have any body content. Let us check that. I'll open body content. We don't have any body content. The status is 200 OK. We also have sent a header. Description, adding one book. And of course in STS we are trying to print it in book service IMPL. Let me check in the console whether I have got the book object. Yeah, here we have got the object. Book title, spring in action, author Kathy, category tech, book ID 10. Okay. So the second method is also done. The third one is book slash ID. So we will do that. I will select it and I will modify it. Books slash ID. I have book IDs from 10 to 15. Here in book service IMPL. So I have selected the book ID 12. Let me click send. Missing URA template variable book ID. I am getting an exception. Let us check it out in STS. So this is my method, book slash ID. The path variable name and the local variable name are different. So if you want to map, you need to have the same variable names, or in the path variable annotation, pass the path variable name, that is ID. Now I will save this and I will rerun the application. The application has started. I'll come back here, click send. Now here we have got the output. This is the one that we have seen there. In book service IMPL, for book ID 12, Miracle, Robin and Fiction. Okay. What about the headers? Description, getting book by ID. Okay. We'll move on to the next REST API. Books by author slash author. Books by author slash Robin. So this is a path variable. Here we are giving the author name directly in the URL. If you don't want to do in this manner, just give colon followed by the path variable name. The moment you add the path variable name, automatically you are getting a path variable with key and value pair. So in value, you can just specify Robin and click send. Now we'll see the body content. I've got 2 books by Robin with book ID 12 and 13. And what about the header? Did we add anything in the header? For author, we have not added any custom header. So this is having only the default headers. And what about status? It is 200 OK. Now we'll move on to the next method, books by category. By category. In case of by category, we are not using path variable. Instead, we are using request param. The param name is category. So I'll copy the name and we are using get method. We are supposed to give the params. They are query params. The key is category. The value is fiction. Let me click send. You can also see the difference how the URL is getting framed. The difference between a path variable and request param. In case of request param, it will be adding it as query parameters after the question mark. In case of path variable, the value will be appended together with the URL. Now I will come back to get books by category, click send. So here we have got 2 books by category fiction. I will also change it out and check. I am giving it as tech, click send. Here we have got 2 books by category fiction. For category, we have added 2 custom headers. One is description, the other one is type. Let us check that also. I'll go to this headers part. Description, list of books by category. Type is book object. And one more thing, whenever you want to change the value for this category, you don't have to go and change it from here. You can directly change it from this place. Now I will change fiction to tech and click send. And here I have got the output. Okay. This response entity will be very useful whenever there is an exception. You can send the exception object itself in the body part of the response. What is the exception type? When it has occurred, any other message related to exception, all these can be added to the body part of the response together with the appropriate status code. Whenever you are creating a REST API, have the return type as response entity with the appropriate generic type. This will help the client to understand the status of the response, if there is any custom headers, the details about your application, and the complete content of your REST API. That's it. Thank you.